The West Midlands Metro is a low-floor light rail tramway system located in the disputed region of England known as the Midlands. Built to serve the only section of the Midlands with anything of relevance to the UK's economy, and just like the previously reviewed Croydon tram link, reduced total bus usage in the area by -25%. The West Midlands Metro has been a cornerstone of Tesco-level public transport and fare evasion practicing around Birmingham since 1999. Alongside serving the city of Birmingham, it can also be seen unwillingly wandering into places such as Wolverhampton, Bilston, Wednesbury, Edgbaston Village, West Bromwich Central, the Gillery Quarter, St Chad's, Black Lake, and a station that serves a mediocre football team's stadium. Do I think that the West Midlands Metro is a defining example of a great tramway in the UK, or is it just existing to keep the Midlanders slightly less depressed? Let's find out. The West Midlands Metro shares some similarities to the Croydon tram link that we reviewed previously, such as having street running, and sections where trams have repurposed former railway lines for their services. Unlike the tram link however, the West Midlands Metro has been lucky enough to receive some noteworthy improvements and extensions over the years. The latest one being in September 2023, which sees the trams finally serve Wolverhampton's mainline train station instead of the shopping area at St George's. Speaking of which, Wolverhampton St George's currently has no service because lol. It seems that having a loop section around Wolverhampton's town centre would have been too much to ask for, and as of the date of this video, nearly 2 years later, trams are still not serving this stop. The local drug dealers certainly appreciate this new hub, so well done for allowing them to conduct their business undisturbed. The tram types used on the West Midlands Metro are Urbus 3s, which were built between 2014 and 2023. Special thanks goes to CAF for doing a cracking job of the construction of these trams. The maximum capacity on board is 210 passengers, a great increase of 54 compared to the previous trams used on the line. Because I never rode on the original T69 trams used on the West Midlands Metro, I cannot in good faith review it in any way, apart from saying it existed, and I like the motor sounds of it. The trams are fast, but not really. Whilst having a top speed of 70 km/h and an acceleration rate of 1.2 meters per second squared are both perfectly fine for a tram. It would be even better if the trams move decently fast in the town centre instead of going so slow that even I can keep up with it at a jogging pace. Any viewers who have sadly used the Central Line in London will tell you that it is much more efficient getting across a city by going fast, even if these same people have had to have 93% of their body water evaporated in exchange for the speed. Then again, considering the intelligence of the great British public, perhaps the trams going faster in the city centre wouldn't be the best of ideas to say the least.
And that's why you wait. That's alright.
On board the Urbus tram is what you would expect, though the seating layout is slightly different from other trams we've seen. In order to ensure the entire unit has a low floor, multiple wheelchair spaces are located throughout the train, as well as places to stand and brood about Aston Villa losing yet another game. The seats themselves are a bit crap, but I'll let it slide since it's a tram, not exactly a first-class Emirates flight. The Urbus trams should not be your first pick when looking for transportation with comfortable seats, unless your ride queue is rivaling that of a bar of soap. Stopping bells are still provided, though considering trams stop at every station en route, their inclusion has the same level of value as your appendix, if not lower. At least opening windows are provided, allowing you to ventilate the tram of crack smokers, and replace it with the exhaust fumes of Scania Omni Cities idling in traffic. Onboard announcements and passenger information displays are fitted too, and they seem to work. The late 2010s saw the fleet modified with the addition of 297 laptop batteries taped onto the roof of the driving coaches of each tram. In exchange for increased weight that totally had no effects on the bodywork or wheels of the trams in any way, they are now capable of using battery power to travel across sections of the network where they couldn't be bothered fitting overhead wires. This is why you are seeing the trams running with their pantograph lowered in some of the clips in this video. Whilst trying to save costs and look after the environment are all nice things to do, it's worth mentioning that the majority of the planet's lithium reserves used to produce batteries are in different continents and are shipped over using these very not environmentally friendly water oblongs for both processing and refining. Also, don't look up what capacity losses in batteries, because batteries actually last forever. The network itself consists of a single line service that connects both Birmingham and Wolverhampton. Trams run roughly every 8 minutes throughout the day, reducing to 15 at night. A handful of stations offer direct interchange with national rail services and are also located within a good distance from the few thousand local buses running in the West Midlands and their bus stations too. That being said, I have some choice words for the person who thought this interchange between Birmingham, Snow Hill and St Chad's was a perfectly reasonable interchange to make.
Go fuck yourself!
Tram stops include the bare minimum facilities, such as seating, shelter and live tram updates. Oxygen may be provided as well, but a recent addition has been the inclusion of ticket machines. Yes, ticket machines were a recent invention and have only now been fitted to all tram stops on the network. Previously you would have to purchase tickets on board from the guard. Because of this, ticketing is once again brought to you in cooperation with the honour system, and I assure you that this has had no negative effects on the yearly revenue from ticket sales on the West Midlands Metro as a whole. Friendly reminder that even the Charleroi Metro had ticket machines provided at most of their stations. Ticket checks there are a different matter, so let's ignore that for now. Another ticketing system used on the West Midlands Metro is called Swift. The Wildlife and Countryside Act of 1981 prevents me from obtaining one to use as a ticket, so I had to try my luck with my Oyster card instead, which for some reason didn't react to the ticket machine readers. I also tried them with my Paris Navigo smart card to ensure I was not the victim of racial profiling, but it wasn't compatible either, despite my multiple attempts. Jokes aside, I'm glad that ticket machines have been installed throughout the network, since not every passenger is a local. The idea of forcing the onboard guard to walk up and down the tram and checking tickets after every stop just doesn't work at all. Plus it's nigh on impossible to enforce during busy periods. The future of the West Midlands Metro is ambitious, but wholly dependent on Birmingham City Council's abysmal credit score. 2 new lines to serve the likes of Dudley Town Centre, Merry Hill and Birmingham Coach Station are confirmed, and each have had starts made. More extensions to the likes of Birmingham Airport and Surrey Hill had also been in talks, which would be nice as a way of avoiding a ride on an elderly Enviro 400 again. As of the date of making this video, construction of the Dudley and Coach Station sections is progressing, albeit slowly, and not much can be said about either of them for now due to the aforementioned funding issues. Conclusion. The West Midlands Metro exists. I do think it has some scores up compared to the Croydon tram link, such as the ticket machines, higher capacity and better bus interchanges. Not to mention that blue is one of my favorite colors, so that's some extra praise I can send its way. But the slowness of the tram really gets under my skin with riding it. Why are we going so slow on this section here? It's an underpass with no other cars on the road. If I was being very generous, I would describe the West Midlands Metro as satisfactory, though I still want to see what the future extensions will deliver for the Midlands. If more trams are needed to run on the new lines, just make sure CAF don't make an offer unless you want to be cracking more than your knuckles when you are maintaining them. Now you know my thoughts on the West Midlands Metro. Go out there and remember that every time you give praise to Birmingham in any way, shape, or form, the completion date of High Speed 2 is pushed back by another 24 hours. I love the Midlands. The Midlands is flawless. Midlands good. I want to hug the Midlands. The Midlands should be a designated area of natural beauty, except Walsall. We need to draw the line somewhere.